Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and today I've got a massive book haul. Six books. I know this isn't what we typically would consider a massive book haul, but I just haven't been hauling as many books, so I don't have that to do. But I was like, you know what, 6 books is still a lot. I bought in one trip, and so I'm gonna share them. It doesn't have to be a massive book haul, and you can just still share what you got. So I went to Berlin. And originally I was going because I got a ticket to see Hayley Williams. And so then a friend that I have known via the internet for a while, we were talking and we ended up meeting up in Berlin. So she flew there. I obviously flew there. It's far. I wasn't driving. And we met up and met for the first time, so it was really great. We did some museums, but also just like walked around and saw a lot of things, went to a lot of bookstores. She also is a reader. And then obviously I went to the Hayley Williams concert and it was phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what. I knew it wasn't gonna be less than perfection, but she exceeded my expectations. Her live vocals are insane. Oh my God, I need to see her again immediately. But yeah, there are a lot of bookstores in Berlin. Obviously it's a major city. And while it may not be the quintessential European city you think of in terms of like the look of it, because obviously heavily bombed, and just a lot of the architecture is just very, I don't know if it's technically brutalist, but a lot of it's not pretty. It just looks like a city. But in that city there's a lot of really cool things. There's immigrant communities, so like we even went to a Mexican street festival. There was a mariachi band. We had amazing tacos and margaritas. We found some really cool Japanese food. So there's a lot in Berlin, and obviously there's a lot of history, lots of museums and monuments and things about specifically World War II. But then obviously we have the wall, the Berlin Wall, and so then there's the west and the east. Going to the east side is really cool also. I feel like it's just more like artsy and cool over there, so it's a really cool place. I don't know if it's high up on a lot of people's list to visit, but I think it is a city, especially if you're interested in history and you're like, I haven't been to a lot of cities in Germany, so I can't speak on them, but it seems like that is a big multicultural city for Germany. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, lots of bookstores. They have this one, Thalia, which is a big chain here. But then also there was this other one called, was it Dussmann? That was massive. It was right near our hotel. It was like four floors, I think, or maybe 4 or 5 floors. Like it had this whole space for like music, so it had a ton of vinyls and CDs, but then like so many books. And even obviously this is in Germany, so most of these are in German, but even they had a separate part where it was like the English bookstore, and that was 2 stories. So it was like legit. And so some of them I went into, they really didn't have any books in English, which is fine. I still like to go look in bookstores, and then some had smaller sections and then some had bigger ones. So I went to all types. I obviously didn't buy a book from all of them, but I did visit numerous ones. And so I'm just gonna share the books with you. Yeah, I've been yapping. So in order of my purchasing. So the first one, and I got this one from Thalia. I was looking for a book written by someone from Germany, and so then there was a table that had German authors, but they were in English, either written in English or translated. I'm out of practice, hold on. This one is called Good Girl by Aria Aber, and I don't know, there's something simple, but that pulled me in with this cover and title. But so what I found fascinating about this one was that the author and also the character are born and raised in Germany, but to Afghan parents. And I think that the author also, because it says that she was raised speaking Farsi and German, but then she wrote this book in her third language. Like, oh my God, I'm trying to learn German and struggling, but like you wrote an entire book in your third language. So the author was born and raised in Germany, but now lives in the US. But our main character was born in Germany to Afghan parents, spent her whole adolescence disappointing her family. Relatable. Now in Berlin's techno-filled warehouses, their walls still scarred by the ravages of the last century, she has found her tribe. She meets an American writer, and she's sucked into this seductive but controlling orbit, and then ugly racial tensions begin to roil through Germany. So I just, I thought that was interesting. So not only by someone who was born and raised in Germany, but like an immigrant. I don't know, I'm assuming maybe she's second generation. So I just thought that would be an interesting take to read a story set in Germany by someone from here, but with this background. So, and let's see, it was shortlisted for the Women's Prize in 2025. Cool. Then I went to the big tall one. Yeah, Dussmann. Das Kulturkaufhaus. Yes. And I posted on my Instagram and I was like, I want all three. And then I put a poll on what books. And the three books were the something, The Isle in the Sea or something by Tasha Suri, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alana Andrews and Alona Andrews, sorry. And The Poet Empress. I can't think of the author. And I put a poll and I said, should I get this one, or all three? And you know what y'all voted? The majority was all three. Y'all are bad influences. But anyway, so then I was talking to Angela about different books I was seeing. She was giving me her thoughts on the Tasha Suri book. And she was like, honestly, if you haven't read it, you should read the Jasmine Throne, which I haven't. It's been on my list for a while. And I looked and I was like, oh, look, it's right there. And so this is the only copy they had, well, at least on the shelf. It was like it was meant to be. So this is also sapphic, I believe, and the newer book is, but I haven't read any Tasha Suri. I know she has this trilogy, I think. And then I think she has a duology starting with Empire of Sand, but I haven't read either. But this says we have one person trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, and then a maidservant forced to disavow her power and her birthright because of her past. So in a world beset by wild magic, turbulent uprising, their decisions will become irrevocably tangled. And together they will set an empire ablaze. I've heard great things about this book for a long time. It's been on my long list of things to get to, and I finally got it. So I hope this is amazing, and then I can continue in this series. But, oh, and even though it's not, because you'll see other ones are taller, even though it's like, it's still pretty floppy. I like that. Okay. Then I was browsing a lot of a lot of these were like small indie shops that were really cool. Again, some with no language or no English or very small. But I came upon this one called, what was it called? About Bookshop. And so there's like books along the wall and then there's a table in the middle. And I don't know if she is the owner, but the woman who was in the shop, she was very nice. She was like I think it's every few months, they rotate a central theme on the books on the table. And the current theme is rage. And I was like, and so there were so many good books on that table. I think I took a picture, I'll post it here. And so I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But I ended up picking up two from there. Ooh, another bookmark, yay. So this has just been on my long list of things to read, and I just liked the simpleness of this edition. And it's The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, this Penguin Archive edition. Yeah, so it's just really small. This is what, €8. But I know this is in the form of two intensely personal letters. That's how it's told. The Fire Next Time, it is an excruciating condemnation of the terrible legacy of racial injustice drawn from Baldwin's early life in Harlem and his experience as a prominent cultural figure of the civil rights movement. I've only read one James Baldwin, and it was a fiction novel. And so this has just been on my long list, and yeah, I just like the simple edition of it, so I grabbed that because when is this not relevant? When is this not relevant? And then also, again, sometimes simple text or simple covers really just grab me, and so I got this. Audre Lorde, Your Silence Will Not Protect You. So again, this beautiful, it's just like a simple pink cover. Here's the thing, I have Sister Outsider. I have not read that yet. I know. This is, I believe, Speeches and Poems. This edition brings Lorde's essential poetry, speeches, and essays, including The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House, together in one volume for the first time. So I was trying to look up when I was in the store, but of course I didn't have good service. I don't think this contains the same things as Sister Outsider. If it does, then shame on, oh well, on me. I have 2 editions. I don't know. Oh well, I don't care. But yeah, I really need to prioritize. These are things I need to prioritize that I keep saying I want to read from these very important figures, and then I get distracted by newer things, newer nonfiction things that I need to like. I know on my anti-curriculum video, I'm focused on the Balkans, but maybe, and it doesn't even need to be a curriculum, but I can just make a focus. Ugh, I love the comments under that video. Somebody said that they do topical TBRs. And so maybe, because there's another book that I want to read, I might leave these out, and like those will be my next nonfictions outside of my Balkans reading, because I just at least want to have, especially this is so short, right? And like I don't have to read all of, I think that's something else that trips me up. I think Sister Outsider is the same way. I don't have to read this all in one sitting. Like it's broken up. Like they're essays or poems, and I can just read a couple and then put it down and then come back to it. So I think that's what also gets, you know, like short story collections, because I'm always like, I see it all together. I'm like, I have to read it at once, and you don't have to do that. So anyway, about Bookshop, these were on the table for Rage, and I was like, Rage, yes. So I grabbed these. And then, last but certainly not least, I went back to Dusman because of the poll. I kept thinking about those books. I was like, oh my God, do I get all 3? Do I just get 1? So, I did get, ooh, it's fine, it's fine. This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. I love this cover. I've just been really intrigued about this book since it came out. I've been hearing really good things about it. I've only read one book by Ilona Andrews, Clean Sweep, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. And so I did ask if you needed to read other Ilona Andrews, because they do have a lot of books, to read this, and I was told no. So I did read what it was actually about, and I was like, it still intrigues me, even though sometimes this type of story hasn't worked for me in the past, but we're giving it a shot. Okay, so the main character wakes up in this place and she recognizes it. It's a city that she knows, but it's from a book that she's read. So she's very familiar with the setting and how to navigate and like everything that's going on in the world. And then she realizes she can't be killed by people she is starting to encounter, and kind of this found family that she's making. She's realizing they're in danger. So now, instead of her priority being trying to get home, she's being enmeshed in the schemes and tensions of dueling princes, dukes, and villains. All this while attempting to save them and their kingdom from the ending she's seen on Page, A Cataclysmic War. I don't know, this one just sounds really good. I will say my only complaint about this edition, it's a tall paperback, is it's not very floppy. You know, it's kind of stiff. So that spine gonna end up cracked. Sad for me, but I have high hopes. And then I did get one more. Which one do you think it is? Yeah, I got the Poet Empress already. They are similar in size. Like this one is a little bigger, a little wider, I think. Let's see. So no. Like there is like, I mean, the smallest difference, but this one is so floppy in comparison to this one, but whatever. Okay, The Poet Empress. I saw someone mention this on Threads and how they read it and they still were feeling like thoughts about it and hadn't seen people talking about it, and I hadn't heard about it. So then I went to Goodreads and was looking at reviews, and someone's review said something about this feeling like they were watching someone turn into a sociopath, and I was like, this sounds interesting. And then it being saying the political arena of the Poppy War, which I love, meets the intimate tragedy and luscious language of the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Very interesting. I think Madeline Miller is a really great writer. I didn't love the Song of Achilles. To me, the story overall, it didn't pull me in, but I thought her writing was excellent. So I'm like, if we have the politics of the Poppy War, the writing, now that could be wrong. That could be wrong, okay? But this is a debut, but we have, let's see, a peasant girl who is turned to the concubine to a cruel prince, and she has a secret in the shadow of the palace. Surrounded by enemies, she's learning a skill forbidden to women, because when words are weapons and poetry holds ancient magic, the fate of a girl and a nation can both be rewritten. All she has to do is compose the perfect poem, a tale so powerful it can kill any man, even the next emperor. So I don't know. Some of the things on the reviews, I was like, you sold me. And really that one about the sociopath, I was like, I am here for it. And also, for a fantasy, it is under 400 pages. I'm assuming this is the first in what's going to be a series, but I just appreciate that shorter length, so I'm very hopeful. So that is my haul, and I'm really excited, and I hope all of these goddamn stickers come off. Ooh, okay. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Let's see. They better all come off like that, because they're big. These big ass stickers. Okay. Oh my goodness. I have been traumatized, okay? Barnes and Noble. I will say, on these editions, there was a bookstore I was looking in, and they had all of these little penguin, I don't know if it was penguin archives, but there were a lot of these little books like this, and they would have the sticker, like the little summary on the back. They'd have the sticker right there, and I'm like, bitch, the sticker ain't small. The sticker's that much. It was so annoying. Oh, whew. You know, it's like, I feel like as an adult taking stickers off books that smooth, it brings me like joy, like when I would remove a band-aid as a kid. Did you find joy in that? Okay, maybe you were normal, because I loved it. Oh, this one was only $13.50. Amen. Okay, let's go 6 for 6. Oh, this one only has a tiny little sticker on it, so hopefully that comes off. You know, sometimes those, oh, spoke too soon. Oh, wait. 6 for 6, baby. Yeah. Okay, so that's my haul. I would love to know if you've read any of these and any of your thoughts, or if you're going to. I know these two obviously are newer. But yeah, that's my haul. Again, if you're in the area and thinking to pop, you know, you have time to put Berlin into your itinerary, I do recommend it. I think it's really cool, and I had so much good food, so many good cafes, and I didn't even get to go to half of them. Luckily for me, it was really cool temperatures while I was there, so I got a cappuccino, I don't know, at least twice a day. Coffee und Kuchen is a big thing in Germany. Coffee and cake, a little midday treat. I support that. I really get involved with that.
I got involved with that.
And I did. I had this Earl Grey chiffon cake. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, these are the books. Have you purchased any books lately? I asked this on Instagram, but when you travel somewhere, do you always buy books? Do you get like 1 to 2, 3 to 4? There is no limit, it's just vibes. It depends on the trip, where I'm going. Like sometimes, like when I went to Japan, I bought one thing to be like, I bought this in Japan. But then sometimes if I'm going somewhere that has a lot of English bookstores, I might get more. It also depends on my luggage situation. Did I drive there? Did I fly? Did I train? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.